is the tuning scheme. It might be a little flat on the bass drum, but close enough. Let's see. All right. So the fundamental of each drum, got a G, a C, an F, and then this is an F as well. A lot of overtones going on over here on this side, so it might be hard to hear the fundamental of the bass drum. Why do I like this tuning scheme? Well, if you think about your bass drum as the anchor, root, fifth, octave, ninth. The reason I like that is because it doesn't suggest major nor minor. So whatever tune you're playing, if you start soloing, in my opinion, it does not clash with the mood of the tune. Some guys like to tune their drums with the snare and the rack tom, maybe a major third apart or a minor third, or there are different types of intervals. A lot of guys you'll see between here and here is actually a fifth, and then they put this at a sixth relative to the floor tom. To me, that sounds really, I don't know, kind of like marching band, or there's some interval there, taps, I don't know what it is. But it's something that I don't like. I can't stand that sixth when you have those two things going there. It just doesn't feel right to me. Now, if you're playing a minor blues, you start soloing, you turn your snares off, you start getting this happy, the vibe. Don't dig it. So I think this is a good place to be. I also think these are great notes to choose for these drums. So I've got an 18-inch bass drum, a 14-inch tom, 12-inch tom, and then a 14-inch snare, 14 by, I think, 5.5. It's a very standard bot kit. So these fundamentals, the F, the C, the F, and the G, they're a really good place where the drum has, so they're good intervals. They also get really good tone. They project well there. That's my kid throwing sticks across the room. And they resonate well, and there's also great decay. So how do I get this? I guess I'm talking a little longer here than I planned to. Another reason I like it, because I do like the fourth here. I also got the fifth here. So if you're doing something, if this is your anchor, C, F, G, that works well too. But if this is your anchor, that works too. All right, so how do I get there? This is kind of the part. I've got coated ambassadors top and bottom on the snare, or not the snare, on the toms. So coated ambassadors, bass drum, I've got fiber skin ambassadors. So some people like Go Diplomat. I ended up buying ambassadors just because that's what was available. Little additional thickness on the bass drum, not a bad thing. So how do I get there? The general rule is the bottom head is between a half step and a whole step higher than the top head. I have found that works better than going even. People say even's good resonance. For me, even doesn't have an attack. It's kind of like the sound comes about without an initial hit. So if this is a F, la, it's more of a la when they're even. But when you have the bottom tighter, it jumps at you more. And contrary to what some videos say, it actually projects pretty well that way. All right, so here are my intervals here. Around a whole step. On the floor tom, whole step once again. The bass drum, it's closer to even. I don't even know. This thing's been moved around a lot, but I'll check this out. All right, the bass drum's pretty even right now. I'll go maybe, even just slightly tighter on one or the other. I'm not as concerned about that one. And the snare, I have over time taken the snare side down. Used to have it cranked to an A. I think right now it's sitting between an F sharp and a G. So here's the snare side. And here is the batter. Do-da, do-do-do-da. So a fourth, about. So I got about, what is that going to be? C sharp to an F sharp or so. Somewhere in that range. So how does the snare sound when the snare is on? Hey, buddy. Here's what it sounds like. Forgive the playing. Best I can do.